Hey guys, welcome back, and boy, this is going to be an interesting one. This is, well, let's just kind of go through this real quick. Apparently, Barbie is still crushing it at the box office. It's already neared, what, 1.2 billion globally. It is just dominating everything in theaters. And even though it is starting to cool off, it's starting to slow down, it's still setting, records left and right. And honestly, its only competition coming up here is like the Blue Beetle movie, which, let's be honest, I don't think anybody's going to be watching. I mean, they're already doing a hard sell of that movie at being a 24 to 30 million dollar opening weekend, so that movie is basically doomed to fail from the get-go. But what I find funny is that with the success of Barbie, people are just missing the big picture about what the movie is actually, well, what's really appealing about it. People think it's because it's Barbie and it's pretty girls and it's feminism. It's like, no, that's not what's selling the movie. Well, let's kind of get through this here. We've got the Marvel's director addressing potential Guardians of the Galaxy link, which apparently means that they already didn't think Captain Marvel 2 could stand on its own. So they had to cram two other diverse women into the movie to try to make it more palatable, to make it more interesting, more entertaining, because we all know that Brie Larson is basically the most uninteresting person and character that's been, added into the MCU. So, well, the idea is you're going to, gender swap the villain, connect it to Guardians of the Galaxy, and bam, you're instantly going to have like a huge market that wants to go see it, right? Because, oh, look, we have strong independent women and we've got strong villainous women. So, hey, we got women everywhere. They're just doing everything men can do, but they're going to do it better, right? So this brings up movies like Ghostbusters 2016 and how, yeah, if you look at this quote from Sandra Bullock recently about how she was terrified to make Ocean's 8 because of the way that these women were unfairly treated for the Ghostbusters 2016 movie. And again, these people miss the actual issue. They don't realize that it's not about them being women. It's about taking something that was great and trying to subvert it for your own feminist agenda. It has nothing to do with whether it's a female cast or a male cast. It is entirely about the actual quality and the writing of the film. And of course, we all know how that ended up. Ghostbusters ended up being a massive bomb. The movie tanked, it didn't make its money back, and it was generally disliked by most fans. So it would appear that people just generally don't want you to crap all over something that's an established film, an established story, and then try to gender swap it to make it more modern and diverse. And yet, what do these geniuses in Hollywood think? Well, they think that we need more diversity, we need more gender swapping, we need more representation, because representation will fix everything, apparently. So this genius, Randall Park, who basically, I only know him from WandaVision and from that one episode of The Office where he was the Asian Jim when they played a prank on Dwight. He basically says that Hollywood's taking the wrong lesson from various box office victories, talking about Barbie, as rather than seeing a given film's success as an indicator that audiences want to see more of a particular story or character. He believes this should indicate a demand for more projects from diverse creators. He goes on to complain about how the Asians aren't represented enough, which is crazy because there's a whole, the martial arts genre is all Asians. It blows my mind, other than Chuck Norris, obviously. And so he says, I feel like just in general, this industry is taking the wrong lessons. For example, Barbie is this massive blockbuster, and the idea is make more movies about toys. No, make more movies by and about women. So here's the thing. If I watch a good film, and I don't know who the director is, I don't find out the gender of the director or the screenwriter before I make my opinion on the movie. If I see a movie and it's a good movie, I'll say it's a good movie. And yet, here's the part that they miss. In all this talk about Barbie making all this money because it's woke and feminist and all this, there are as many people who say, no, it's not woke, it's not feminist. It actually reinforces the idea that women should be moms or should be allowed to be moms, or that Ken is really, the modern male who's been emasculated by women and by feminism, and that he's the actual victim in the story. Look, I haven't seen Barbie. I don't care to watch it. I'm surprised, honestly, that it's become such a huge thing between the memes and how much money the movie's made. But to be honest, there are as many people saying, no, Barbie succeeded because there were equal parts the feminist woke Barbie side and the Ken representing the modern man, the emasculated modern man in society. So what do we need from all this? Where should this inevitably lead? I don't know, but definitely this is one direction this shouldn't end up in. Here we have the most entitled, petty, narcissistic twit ever ever to make it onto a movie screen in Rachel Zegler playing, you know, Off-White or Snow Blonde, or whatever you want to call her. She's representing what Snow White is going to be on the live-action movie. And yet completely crapping all over the original film. And so here again, I'll play the little snippet of her in a minute. Here again is the problem. You're not taking somebody who happens to be a woman or happens to be Latina or who happens to be any of these things. You're taking somebody who is activist first, activist minded, and putting them into something where we have to change it to make it more modern. We have to change it to make it acceptable for our modern sensibilities. And you're just completely shitting on the fans who have loved something for years and years. This guy, Randall Park, is an idiot. It has nothing to do with who the director is and where their diverse background is from and what gender they are, and everything to do with just making a good, respectful film. And so here's Miss Snow White's comments. I'm sure you've probably seen this by now, but we'll just place a little snippet for you.
Your version of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Look, I know this is kind of, it's kind of on the nose to say it, because basically if you're going to be an actor, or a singer, or a performer of any type, an entertainer or comedian, you're going to be a little narcissistic. I think it kind of goes with the territory. But this girl is completely self-absorbed, and oh my god, this is the most cringe thing I've ever seen somebody in Hollywood do.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince, or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume.
And again, I'm not a fashionista, but notice the girl boss pantsuit look. I don't know, this is like a bra bustier corset thing with like a dress shirt coming out of it. This here, if this girl's not a lesbian, and I say this in all honesty, I'm not trying to be mean, if she's not a lesbian, I'm going to be shocked, because this is totally that girl not needing a man kind of outfit.
Doom is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie.
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Great dude.
It's,
hey, bro.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But it's...
I mean, literally, this is like when Frost got, you know, when everyone got shit canned over at G4 TV, and Frost was like, "Hey, I'm still here. I got game on. I'm still working, bitches," and just completely shit all over her coworkers. This is essentially what this twit is doing. Is she's like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, the prince, he may or may not be important. Who knows? All of his scenes could get cut. It's Hollywood. Ha ha ha. Look at me. I'm over here. I'm the boss, bitch." And this is why this whole idea of like needing to have representation is complete crap. It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight, man or a woman or whatever you identify as. If you're gonna play a role and you're gonna play a certain character in a certain part in a franchise that's well established, and you're gonna do it where you expect an audience to show up and give you money, do it right, do it respectfully, or get the hell out. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Either way, guys, let me know what you think about all this. I mean, this movie is doomed. I think this movie has canceled itself before it's even aired. I think it's going to get relegated to Disney+. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down below, and we'll see you on the next one.